Well, we have a lot of time for memories while we're waiting to get the okay to reopen. And you know, when performers get together and think about the stories, they seldom remember the high points. They always remember the whoopses. So in the category of costume whoopses, we have a couple of Hall of Famers. One is from the '83 production of Annie with Clyde Ramsey as an extraordinary Miss Hannigan. Well, sometime between the first Hannigan scene, which the kids do, It's a Hard Knock Life, and the second Hannigan scene, she had to use the necessary. And so she came in and on stage and everything was swell, but her costume had gotten stuck in the back of her pantyhose. So when she turned to chew out the kids, she got a laugh she had never gotten before. And I know Clyde doesn't mind me telling that story because it's definitely a Hall of Famer. Then a show that I directed, Crazy for You, in 2017, I believe, we had the moment that we call the fly dance. So Greg Grannis had a quick costume change. He comes on dressed in his Western travel gear, and he enters right over here. So Greg enters here. He'd done everything on the costume change except the classic zipper. I spot it from the director's table, which gives me enough time to come backstage to give some aid, because he is about to faint for lack of water and be down on the ground. So the whole audience has not had a chance to be aware of this. So I send two performers who will remain nameless until I forgive them out and tell them Greg's zipper is down. When you help him up, go over to him, help him up, and tell him, because he now goes into a 4.5-minute dance, which, as you can understand, became known as the zipper dance. So, oops. The other thing that comes to mind, Roger Rocka in '83 played Miles Gloriosus in A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum. Tall guy, you know, Raj. Armor, Roman skirt. Raj's first entrance, he comes on, I am Miles Gloriosus. Fortunately, he had his pantyhose on. One of my favorite oopses, because I had the opportunity to be there, was in Forum when I was playing Pseudolus, and I had the chance to play it with Ken Parks as Hysterium. Without going into the plot, Hysterium has to dress like a woman, and to add the final touch, we had grapefruits to put in the top of his dress. Well, as the scene progressed, the grapefruits started to leak, and the comic gods had given us a scene that was about 3 times longer than it had ever been before, because no one, including us, could really stop laughing on that. One that turns out to be the all-time hero of oopses is Lee Murray in Gypsy in 1982. At intermission, we had to take out our Rose, Janice Noga, because she was sick, and the young girl playing Louise didn't have a lot of experience, didn't realize the show must go on. She got sick and she left, which moved everybody up, including Lee, who had to do the famous Let Me Entertain You number. As Gypsy Rose Lee's career improves, she takes more and more off. So it wasn't till the last moment that we realized the actual Louise had taken the costume home with her. So that through the scrim, up center, a scrim is a curtain where if you put light behind, you can see through it. Thank God for the scrim in that final moment when Lee establishes her position and she literally took everything off for the team. 4 beats, beat, 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 pray, blackout. Memorable.